Welcome to the Mind of Psyche, where we talk music, addiction, comedy, culture. If you like this content, please leave feedback and subscribe. Let's get into it. On this episode, I'm just going to do my weekly rant. It's been a few days, few weeks since I've posted anything. Got a lot going on. Started a new relationship. Started a new job. Still trying to work out the kinks with the new studio because I got to get the best noise floor possible. Anybody that knows me, that knows I love audio, knows how it is, especially when you live in a domicile, an apartment with people around you. There's certain times when you can't record, yada, yada, yada. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to throw this out, freestyle it off the dome, and just talk. And what are we talking about today? Throughout my episodes, I've always discussed different topics, such as I've always stopped the political, try not to do that, trying to not talk about religion, anything like that. So I'm going to try to keep to that path and not speak about that. We all grow. So everything in our life changes day by day. But I want to still continue the whole behavioral health, addiction, because that's my life. That's an everyday occurrence in my life. And I think it's important that we understand and that we have an understanding of how important things are in regards to our own mental health, physical health, and so forth. But one part I don't think I've ever really touched on was too much has been the recovery process. And what I mean about that is, like, once you get a certain time, a certain length of sobriety, you come to a point where you need that support. You should have had it from day one. Usually if you're involved with a agency, something like that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to groups, you're maybe in a residential setting, right when you're getting sober. So you're not like right out the gate on your own. So you need that additional help. You need that support. You need those people around you that'll tell you like it is and that will help you improve, will assist you, because this is number one, it's on you. And what I mean by that is you can have all the support and all the best characteristics of people in your circle, and you could still fail. It's because 9 times out of 10, it's you that don't want to take that step. However, you use the support system to your benefit. And whether it's, like I mentioned, going to groups, whether it's your support, whether, hey, you're even going to try, reaching out to a new branch of people. You never want to go back to your old environment, as hard as that can be, even if it's alcohol. You don't want to go back to that bar. You don't want to go back to the same buddies that drink. You don't want to do these things that you're going to get back into. I always do wait a year to see if you can go and hang out in society, into restaurants that have alcohol around you, and see if you can, go there without having any triggers. That's why I say about a year. But why I'm mentioning this is with your support system, this is good knowledge for them to know that they don't need to hit you with kid gloves, but they also need to be aware that if they want to support you, depending on, and I'm using alcohol because that's my addiction. So I know, and my friends know that, especially in the early days, that they would ask, they're like, hey, are you comfortable going here? Are you comfortable with this? How do you feel? Like they try to figure out how I was feeling so I could still enjoy, but they didn't want to make it a trigger. And I give it 6 months. I didn't give it a full year. Maybe, and I haven't to this day drank anything since that time. But back to recovery and the support systems, you can get support systems from basically anywhere, from anyone. A lot of people do sponsorships. A lot of people reach out to like AA groups, that sort of thing. Nonprofits, they can help. And I would say the most important thing right now, if you're in that area of needing help and you're not getting that support that you need, it's up to you to reach out. Yeah, you may have a case manager, you may know people, but you're the adult. You're the one that got yourself in to the situation, no matter how you look at it. As hard as that is, the sound is as hard as that is to hear, that's the truth. But reach out. Like if you're into church, cool, do that. Spend a lot of time with the supportive people if you can. Make time for self-care and worry about things to relinquish that stress, because we're going to be in stressful positions our entire lives. That's just the way it is. So we just have one more monkey on our back to deal with on top of our everyday life. Some people have family with kids, extended family, so if you have that addiction and you're in recovery, you have to worry about that, and you have to deal with the day in, day out. Hence, day in and day out is one of my favorite. I'm not saying the quotes. It's just a phrase that I say. I've had it on my Facebook page for years as just something to remind me. You wake up, then you do what you need to do, and you go to bed. It's a day by day, minute by minute thing, especially in recovery. And people need to know that. You need to, and your support team need to have an understanding of there's going to be the hard times. There's going to be the difficulty in certain environments. And it's just not that easy. But if you can get to the point and have the family and have the support team, and I mean family as in, it doesn't have to just be blood. It can be the people that have your best interest at heart. And that's why I'm using the family in this situation, because once you get sober, you realize, you start figuring things out and you start getting clear-minded now, you figure out who your true people in your life are. And those best friends or that family member who you thought had your back from day one, no, sometimes they're your worst enemy. And it's the unlikely person in many a case that have your back. Whether that's good, whether that's bad, the case is you have someone with the support. This could go on. I could talk for hours about this. I just wanted to get this off my chest because it's been on my mind for a bit. And even though I'm really not getting into the depths of the recovery support, I think it's just important that we have it. And even if it's therapy, as long as it's something, that's the most important thing. Like, be happy, feel good about yourself. Take every minute of every day as a milestone. Do the activities and do new activities that you feel that may be adventurous and may be helpful for you. Instead of, like, I'm going to use the alcohol thing. Instead of using the going to a bar, go for a walk. Call someone up. FaceTime someone that, join an online support system. If you don't have local people you can see face to face, at least it's something that's getting your mind off of said addiction. Less triggers, keeps you busy, hobbies, so on and so forth. Just be true to yourself. That's one of my biggest things, is just being true to yourself. And when you have negative Nellies in your life, let them out. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. If they're telling you the stuff you don't want to hear, but it's positive and they're not sugarcoating stuff, that's a good ally to have. But if it's like a friend saying, let's just go, it's cool, you don't need to worry, let's just go to a bar and have fun. Okay, depending on the person you are, that you may be able to handle that. Straight out of, like, recovery, like the first month, no, the first 6 months, that's up to you. But the first year, I would say generally that's probably a good time to give up and be able to actually go out and participate in said events. That's if you feel comfortable enough. Most bars these days have bar and grills, so there's food. You also don't want to go from one addiction to the other, which is very, very difficult. And I'm the poster child of that. As many of you know, I've been heavy my whole life, mostly. And when you continuously drink over the years, you don't listen to your stomach and you get hungry. So that just makes it that much more difficult. So then not only you're trying to be in recovery, you hit the alcohol, you combated that for that meantime, and you're recovering from that, and you're working every day in and out to deal with that. Then you've all of a sudden, now you've got this eating issue and you're overeating and you've gained all this weight. So now you've got all these different monkeys on your back. And I love using the word monkey because it's, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It's just more stuff for you to have to deal with. And you're feeding the machine, and you're the machine. So feel it, just feel it out. Be very upfront with your friends and family. And if they're in support, they will know, like, hey, we're not going to do this. We're not going to go to this bar or something. Or if you have like a family celebration or your kid just graduated, it's just the less situations you're in, the better. keep on doing what you're doing, do the best you can, and just feel great. Just keep that support. Keep phrases, just keep that positivity going. And anybody that's your true people will have your back and will respect it. Even to the fact that they will forego that evening of celebration to just hang out with you in a sober way. And I think that's another thing that's important. People, just be very, very careful. To the point that don't even go hang out with your old buddies that you were in serious addiction with, the same areas, because there's something in your mind that trickles, and you could see maybe it's a particular store or a bar or movie theater or even house that you used to party in. That could be a big trigger. But if you figure that out in the beginning, or, even within the first couple of months, and you have that support that says, hey, no, we're not doing that. That's the true person in your life. That's the one where you are, okay, I get this. This is important. These people get me. And that makes you want to succeed even more. Because number one, you're doing it for yourself. Hands down. Support is what support is. It's to help you. It's to guide you sometimes when you're in a different mind frame. Just remember, have fun, live your life, but don't go overboard. It's a struggle every day, in and out. You're still here and you're doing it. Just keep that support up and be a support to other people as well. Lead it on, carry it on to the next person and the next person and the next person. So with that being said, I wanted to thank you again for listening, and I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and leave a comment. You can hear me on all major platforms and socials under the Mind of Psychic podcast. See you next time.